Okay, another recording about AGP in regards to, well, considering it asexuality and how to sexually express in a healthy way. So basically the only way I've expressed my autogynephilia, or I don't know if express is the right word, but the only way I've navigated it is just masturbation. Masturbation and fantasy, of course, so watching mainly other people cross-dress or female pornography. So people who have transitioned and look like females. And I guess, yeah, part of the fantasy was that I wanted to become that. And then of course, after I orgasm, well, again, most of my early life I was very ashamed and very confused. Now, when I masturbate, I'm not so confused. I'm just a little bit like, I would say, irritated. Like, why can't I sort of, I guess I've fallen into the semen retention mindset a bit. And some of like people on there, like in that space, are a little bit like militant. So maybe I become a bit militant with that mindset. So I get a bit upset that I busted. Not so much that I watch AGP stuff anymore. So it's almost like I've replaced the shame, but I still don't feel ashamed so much. It's just like, I'm just curious. I'm walking a bit and a bit winded at the moment, so get these little breaths that you hear from me. I guess I'm wondering how, like, when I get an urge to masturbate, rather than, there's this big thing of like, oh, if you get an urge in the semen retention, no fap kind of space, people are like, go do push-ups, go exercise and stuff. And in a way, like, all those things do work, but it's kind of like this bit macho, maxed out testosterone approach, and also maybe the urge and libido comes from testosterone. So maybe that is the appropriate thing to do, regardless of AGP or not. But AGP, like, when I get the urge to basically masturbate, it's also tied to, I want to suddenly, yeah, the stimulation and fantasy of becoming a woman is very strong. So I'm wondering how, instead of masturbating, how I can put it to use in a more, I really don't like the word, I don't want to say it, I was going to say productive way, but I'm going to try to find a different way. I just, basically a modality, an expression, to express myself in another modality other than masturbating, because it's quite draining. So something that, rather than drains me, fuels me up. So I have explored cross-dressing, and I have to say, it's very time consuming, and it doesn't, maybe I haven't explored it enough, but it's like, I don't really want to shave my body and to apply makeup. Actually, applying makeup was an interesting experience, but and it was a good one in the sense of, like, I really don't like doing this at all. So yeah, I'm trying to think, and that's the only way I can think of like embracing AGP in a way that kind of, like, I can tap into this feminine side, but it's so time consuming, and I'm just like, I just don't want to do this. I'm not even really, I noticed I spent like a month or so cross-dressing periodically, had a place in myself. It was an interesting experiment, but yeah, ultimately, like, every time I did it, I was like, kind of, it was fun, but I looked at myself in the mirror, I wasn't really turned on at all by what I saw. And yeah, it was just a lot of effort. It just was a time-consuming thing. So I'm trying to think of how I can, it's also, well, this is maybe for another video, of like how culture actually influences, like, the AGP fantasy so much. Because all the clothing that I could put on and stuff like that, it's all kind of like, doesn't really matter, because it's like, what I'm attracted to is the physicality of the feminine appearance of the body, not really the clothes. So maybe that was a good experiment. It's like, okay, I don't really care about the clothes and stuff so much. So I was thinking maybe dancing in a very what I perceive at least to be a feminine way of dancing could be a healthy thing. So I don't know. I don't know what to express and how to perhaps make creating. Oh, so one of the big thing with semen retention is that the big thing is that it's that semen and the act of sex in general is a creative force, a creative energy. So rather than busting a nut, take that energy, transmute it, and put it towards creativity. And I have been successful in doing that. So maybe I just need to stay on the path of that and keep channeling towards creativity. I just want to be sure that I'm not repressing my AGP, because I've gotten into working out more than I used to be, and I feel pretty good about that. But again, that's a very, like, even when I work out, I work out like conventional things, and it's a bit of a mix with working out. I genuinely feel good doing it, but also it's like I want to look like an aesthetic male. Yeah, I think I mentioned a video before of why I won't transition. So it's like if I'm gonna be in a body, it's like I kind of want, it's like I want it to look aesthetic, I guess. So I've sort of chosen to represent as a male, and I guess I will try to make this male body I'm inhabiting as aesthetic as I can make it. Also, yeah, working out does feel good. So anyway, point is, I'm still exploring alternative modalities to the fantasy of AGP. How can I explore the fantasy without masturbating? Because I do think that like busting a nut all the time is not healthy. And again, I do want to go on longer semen retention stints. I've only been managing about 10 days at most, and then I'll sort of, when I do bust a nut, I'll go like every 3 days, and it's hard to get back into 10 days. And so yeah, I just want to find a way that's not like, oh, I'm gonna go do push-ups. It's not so like macho oriented, which is usually the advice of most semen retention people. Then a lot of the community in semen retention is heterosexual. So yeah, I think dance will have to be the thing, dancing in a feminine way, and maybe even further down the line, perhaps I might explore wearing shape gear, like foam pad hips type thing, and maybe a corset or something, and maybe doing like a weird mix where I don't shave my body, but I wear like a one piece or like a whole thing that covers all my skin, so you don't see the manly hair, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to find an in between, and so I was thinking maybe I'll even explore a drag persona as a way to express this sexuality. I know. Anyway, that's a different topic, but yeah, trying to find different ways rather than masturbating. I masturbated last night, and yeah, I was really like cognizant of that while doing it. And it also felt great. I don't know, masturbating just feels great, but I do feel the drain in energy, especially if I do it a lot. And I do feel like when I go 10 days or so without busting a nut, I do have I do have an uplift in energy. So I still don't know that like semen retention, like going like 180 days or plus, is even good for your prostate. So that's something I'm going to talk about differently. But I am planning on trying 180 days at some point. That would be interesting. I'd be just I don't know why that number. I don't know. I guess it's a common number that people suggest. So yeah.